Not every day you're gonna wake up wanting to feel like it. Not every day you're gonna wake up wanting to do it. But if you do it anyways, well, that's how you get better. That's how you can separate yourself from where you're at now to where you actually want to be. It's the fact that when it's inconvenient to you, you still find a way to stay consistent. When you don't feel like you're in the right mood, you still find a way to show up. So let me show you how I do it. From the gym, to the kitchen, to maybe the court. Maybe. We'll see. Alright, we're gonna get into a solid chest day today. Starting off with the flat dumbbell bench press. I worked my way up from 65s to 110s on my final set, which felt clean, controlled, and strong. This movement is always a staple for me. It's a great opener. It lights up the chest, forces stabilization, and lets you focus on the stretch and drive without being locked into a bar path immediately.
Got a terrible 4. It is what it is. It's been a while, so we'll work our way back up to it. I want to work my way back up to like a 120, because I used to be able to push them bitches for like 10. It's just like I don't really push for strength anymore. I just go for like hypertrophy. But let's finish this off. We're about to go for it. 10 here, and then do 2 more sets. Maybe the same way, depending how I feel towards those, like last 2.
Next up, incline barbell press. Now look, if I had a choice, I'd prefer the Smith machine. It gives you that locked in feel where you can just focus on your upper chest contraction. But the gym was packed, so we had to adapt. And this does the trick as well too. I did 3 sets. First set was a feather set, and second set was to failure. With the last set, I had a little burnout by doing a drop set from 185 to 135. You don't have to, I just like to. Then I moved into the incline cable flies, and man, these hit different. In a good way. 3 sets here, and I want you to feel that stretch, especially at the bottom half. Then after you squeeze through the rep, drive your hands upward like you're clapping towards them, and keep that tension. Don't rush. It's all about intent here. From there, we rolled into the barbell shoulder press. Again, at this stage of my workouts, I would prefer a cable movement or a machine, but everything was absolutely taken. So we had to revise. And when it comes to this exercise, it's not about weight or going heavy. And to be honest with you, I've never gone extremely heavy on shoulder press to really build my shoulders. I've just done weight that I know I can get for 8 to 10 to 12 reps, and then I just push myself to the limit with that amount of weight. Because whenever I went heavy, it just led to joint pain and it wasn't comfortable. From there, cable lateral raises with the double D handle. I like this grip because it gives me better control. Not just with my hands, but actually with my wrists as well too. It gives me better wrist positioning. That little angle makes a huge difference, and yes, you can absolutely use the Echo style straps too, because that's what those are made for. But if you don't have them like me, this is the perfect way to actually do it. And to finish it off, kept it simple, single arm tricep extensions, 3 sets to failure. This is one of those movements that sneaks up on you if you're honest with your form. Control the negative, don't rush the squeeze, and watch how much tension you can actually generate. And that's it for today. Heavy pressing, clean flies, and a little shoulder and tricep volume to round it out. I know a lot of people struggle with consistency and second guess their gym plan. My advice, just show up, adjust when needed. Not every session has to be perfect to be productive. It's not about going all out every single time. It's about stacking days, being smart with how you train. You'll be surprised where you end up when you stop chasing the perfect workout and start chasing just consistent effort. Because here's the thing, we're always gonna have days and times where there's certain things we don't wanna do. But we must do them anyways, because we must do them to stay with the routine. We must do them to stay on track. It's the same thing with nutrition, same thing with workouts. Sometimes I do want to do it, sometimes I don't. But guess what? When I don't, that's when I force myself to do it. Because I know that's when it matters most. Because if I go into tomorrow with no meals prepped, it's going to be me basically throughout the whole day not eating. But yeah, we got our rice boiling. Almost done. We got our veggies right now, and we're about to take our ground beef and put it in a separate pot before we add it all together. As well as we're gonna add this whole thing of cheese. You know I'm gonna give you a full macro towards the end. And as we wait for everything, this is actually a meal that you could batch cook instead of prepping and combining them all together. And what I mean by that is you could just take the rice, put it in one container,
and that's your carbs for the next 2, 3, 4 days. You could take the ground beef, put it in one container, that's your protein for the next 3 to 4 days. Same thing with the veggies. And then from there on, what you can do is just throughout the week, maybe you want rice and you have pre-made chicken and you want that instead of the ground beef because you don't want to taste the ground beef again, and then you add in the veggies. But let's say you want something different. You bought whole wheat tortillas and you're like, you know what? I want to make a burrito. Boom, you can make a burrito right then and there. Or you can just assemble them together and add them all together in a bowl, which I'm about to do. So let's continue moving forward. Now we're gonna add cheddar jack. I use this a little bit, so it's not gonna be the entire bag. So I'd say like half the bag. Should look something like this. Oh yeah. Now that our rice is ready, we're gonna add everything together. We're gonna flop it all in there. Yep. Now we mix it all together. And voila. Now we just go and we portion it out into separate containers. Let's go. We're gonna start with these. Well, damn. Okay, that's nice. We're gonna start with these. Let me see, that's 2, 4, 5. And voila. And again, this is not the most aesthetically pleasing meal. It's just to get my nutrients in and get my food in. I'll be honest, throughout the week, I'll say about, out of my 20 meal prep meals, 10 of them, delicious, fancy. The other 10, boring as fuck like this. Not boring, but not to my full liking, you know, but it's okay because I'll get the job done. It'll give me energy, it'll keep me pushing, it'll give me more muscle, and it'll help me look the way I want to. So why the fuck not? Now let's get to the macros. In total, this meal had 2,553 calories, 284 grams of protein, 87 fat, and 163 protein. So let's divide those by 5 servings, just 5 containers. So if we go 2,553 divided by 5, 510 calories per meal. If we go 284 divided by 5, 56 grams of carbs per meal. 87 divided by 5, 17 grams of fat per meal, and 163 divided by 5, 32 grams of protein per meal. It's not the sexiest, but it gets the job done. And now I'm about to eat and get ready for some ball tomorrow, if I even want to go. We'll see. Catch you soon.
Do I want to go? No. But I'm going to go anyways. Because it's been a routine, you know. I've been playing ball every Saturday morning. Just to get the legs moving, most importantly. It's a great form of cardio for me. And I can't stop myself. I can't stop my own momentum. Especially when you see yourself getting better little by little. You can't stop it. So yes, we are going to go. And hopefully we do better this time. So stay tuned. Come on. Oh! You heard that crack? And after 2 ACL tears, I wake up in the morning, it's always something. Alright, y'all saw a bad game last time. This time, I brought you a good one. Well, last time I didn't even play that bad. We still won. Just didn't have as much as I wanted, but this time I definitely wanted to contribute a little bit more, you know. And as we're in the topic of consistency, one of the biggest things I find myself just consistently doing now is just moving my feet a little bit more. And what I mean by that, doesn't need to be basketball. It could be a walk, it could be a run, it could be anything that just gets me moving and away from just sitting down all day, because that's what really like true transformation looks like. That's how you really build yourself. You know, everybody wants like this aesthetic reel. They want this 30-day transformation. They want to be able to get as fast as possible. But what they don't realize is it's the reps you don't want to do that matter the most. And most people, on the days that they don't want to do anything, end up not doing anything. Days where your energy's low, you keep it low. Moments when nobody's clapping for you, you don't clap for yourself. You just beat yourself down. But when you show up anyways, but when you clap for yourself anyways, but when you say, I'm gonna go and do this regardless of what's happening around me, regardless of who said this, who said that, that's when you start building yourself up. Because you're not just building your body, you're not just changing your body, you're building your belief. and you're not falling off. You're learning how to stay on. You're learning how to keep yourself motivated, which a lot of people have a hard time actually doing. And that's why I also feel like a lot of people struggle to stay consistent in the gym, is because they look for motivation from someone, when it was within them the entire time. They just had to take consistent action to keep motivation, to keep honing it in, to keep bringing it back, because motivation is fleeting. So taking consistent action is going to help you stay on. And that's what most people don't tell you. It's never about being perfect day, perfect week. It's about noticing the dip and deciding not to stay there. It's about noticing you're unmotivated and deciding not to just feel that way and just let it be the end all be all. Because you have to understand, you're your anchor. Most people think I'm in the gym every day because I'm just some gym freak, but what they don't understand is it's how I started being this version of me. The me that could take action, the me that's confident to take a little bit of risk. The me that, when faced behind every sort of adversity, I will look at that motherfucker with a smile and figure it out. Because what else am I gonna do? Just sit there, be sad about it, or go do something about it? And that's the same thing with motivation for the gym, motivation for, well, anything. You have to do something about it. You have to bring calm to your storms. And the only way you bring calm to your storms is when you go and say, all right, time to take some action towards this motherfucker. Because if you don't, you will end up staying there, living there, and being there longer and longer than you ever wanted to be. So remember, this life, this is your one body, your one shot, your one mind. What are you doing with it? If you're waiting for the perfect time, I'm sorry. It is not coming. If you're waiting for the perfect, feeling, it's not coming. You have to start working on yourself now. You have to start building yourself now. Not to prove anyone wrong, but to prove yourself right. That you can show up for yourself. You can accomplish this goal. That it wasn't just a thought. It actually became a reality. And you have the ability to make that happen. You have the ability to lead that life, to live that life. Because when you move different, that's when you start becoming different. And I want you to understand that. You move differently, you start thinking differently and doing differently. Thank you for watching. Make sure you like, subscribe, and remember, if you want something, bro, go get that shit. Peace.